Welcome back. A great show. Balance, I think, is such a key factor, and where you choose to get your information on big decisions is hard because as much good information is out there, there's bad information. Politically, there's as much on the right as on the left, and oftentimes there is a lot of misinformation. When you're trying to sell your house, there are certainly people who just think it's all a thing, it's all about the price, or it's all about the house. Steve Laevastu joins us, who's consistently been among the top 1% of producers in his company. And, well, first of all, welcome, Steve.
Hey, Ben, how's it going?
I'm excellent, and it's great to see you. And you worked with my dad years ago, which is kind of a fun little fact.
Dick Brashenomics is a great man. He was actually got my first job from Dick and Jim at Richard James Realtors.
That is just a trip. We have an old windsock, I think, in my parents' garage that survived the mayhem. But so, Steve, you've been doing this a long time. That company was gone a long time ago. Like I said, before the show, I used to sell magazine subscriptions, cubicle to cubicle, in that real estate office when I was a kid. But when you start thinking about, obviously your tenure in the industry, coupled with what what you really know about, look, when you're going to sell a house, there's kind of this balancing act that you call the 3 Ps, which are different than maybe all the 3 Ps of all the other marketing. Tell us a little bit about the 3 Ps and the way that you help somebody appropriately sell their house.
Okay, when you sell a house, you want to attract fear of loss. That's why buyers purchase homes, is because they have fear of loss. You attract the fear of loss through the 3 Ps in marketing. It's pretty simple: price, product, and promotion. If you're not priced right, the buyers aren't going to have the fear of loss. They're not going to bring the offer on your home. So you need to price it correctly. And the product needs to look great, not just good. You need to differentiate your home. There's something called neurolinguistics. What neurolinguistics is, it's a science of how people make decisions based upon their senses. 2/3 of the population is visual. So with 2/3 of the population out there, their primary sense for making a buying decision is their visual sense. So if you walk inside a house with green shag carpeting, popcorn ceilings, grandma and grandpa's furniture, you walk right in, see the green shag carpeting, grandma and grandpa's furniture, and you walk right out. So you need to make it look great. And the realtor needs to do a fabulous job of promoting your home, explaining here are the unique selling propositions for the home. Here's what makes it different.
I want to go back to the price piece because you talk about the fear of loss. And I think, I talked to a client today, and they were discussing, I think this is the best priced house in Houghton. Now, instantly, it's other people must think the same thing. Not, hey, let's try to get a deal on that one. It's, let's make sure we get it. I think that's an interesting concept versus, you may end up actually getting more by pricing it lower because people are going to think they won't get it, or their offer won't be accepted.
Yes, the lower the price, the more fear of loss it's going to have, but you want to set the optimal price. You don't want to take that gamble to price it low and just, hope you get a multiple offer situation or hope to get that 100%. Because if you price it low and all of a sudden a week later it's still in the market, then somebody's going to probably bring you a lower offer than that. So you want to find that optimal price in a perfect world.
And so what do you do, to start doing that? Because you have to obviously understand what's going on in the market. You had talked about some Seattle stats and, really understanding like the Seattle market in general. Talk a little bit about the Seattle market and how you then go ahead and optimally price something.
Well, right now, the Seattle market is on fire. You want to call 911. In the most recent month of February, there were 1,256 active listings in our Seattle market. 555 homes went sold pending. So 1 out of every 2.3 homes on the market went sold pending the month of February. Most realtors would consider any ratio 3 and under to be a seller's market indicator, any ratio between 3 and 6 to be a neutral market indicator. So with 1 out of every 2.3 homes on the market going sold pending in the month of February, that market was just on fire. It's been very strong for the past 12 months in a row.
It was probably, people weren't buying houses at that rate based on the amount of listings, probably even in 2006, 2007, 2008.
Last time I saw numbers like this was probably 1998, 1999, when we saw 40% appreciation in the Seattle market. Right now, prices are staying flat. The reason is there are a lot of short sales out there and bank-owned homes, which are keeping prices level. If those short sales were gone and the foreclosures were gone, we'd definitely be seeing a healthy appreciation right now.
If only they were gone.
That would be a good thing.
So when people have to be realistic then, because, okay, you can talk about great rates that people are selling houses at. The short sales are there. The foreclosures and bank-owned properties are there. How do you help somebody expect realistic, or how do you create realistic expectations with somebody who is going to buy their house, who maybe thinks their house is the only one in the entire city that didn't go down in value?
Pricing a home is difficult. It's also subjective, but I believe it's susceptible to reason analysis. So you just want to walk them through everything. Walk them through what's the current market like? What market segment are you in? Are you in the condominium market, which is not moving as quickly as single-family homes? Are you in a single-family market with 2 bedrooms? What's your current competition? What are the best comparables that have recently sold? You just want to take a look at everything available to you, all the data and stats. What's your market? What's your competition? And what are the best comparables? And then you can just quantify based upon those statistics where you really should be. And
then, of course, if you can get to that, we like even in the mortgage business with appraisals, they call it bracketing, right? You bracket it around other houses. But even when that's the case, you still have to make it maybe better or nicer or more appealing than other houses. And you mentioned a little bit about grandma's furniture. I don't know, I just get the covered in plastic feeling and the, like you said, green shag carpet from the 70s. And I still get the impression of the microwave oven that had the little, or microwave that had the little orange dial on it for your timer so you could watch the clock until it hit the timer. I suppose those houses are still out there, but those are places that, things that people probably don't find overly appealing anymore.
Those are the homes where the investors, the buyers actually get a great deal on it because they go in there and paint it and, just easily just change the visual presentation of it. And they can make an instant $20,000-$30,000 just by changing the visual product there. So as a good realtor, what you want to do is you want to bring a designer inside the house. And she can be the velvet hammer. She can tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. She can tell grandma and grandpa in a soft but firm tone, you really need to paint the inside of this house to make it more attractive to the bigger market. You really should move your furniture out and get a house professionally staged. So a good realtor is going to tell their clients, here are some options for you. You can do option A and get X price for it. You can do option B and not do as well.
Talk a little bit more about telling people what they need to know, not what they want to know. And again, we're here with Steve Laevastu of Windermere Real Estate. And we have a couple minutes left, but I really do want to hear about this, what they need to know, not what they want to know, because people are attached to their houses.
Yeah, but you're making the biggest investment decision of your life when you sell that house. That could be your retirement. That could put the kids through college. So you want to get as much. In a perfect world, a seller should want to get as much as possible for the sale of their house. So a good realtor is going to tell the truth, not tell a seller what the seller wants to hear. They need to be their advocate. They need to tell the client, here is what you need to do to attract the highest possible price, to open your market segment up to the biggest market segment possible.
And that ultimately is what's going to drive the most buyers. And as you said at the beginning, potentially create the most fear of loss so that people do want to make an offer quickly.
Correct. And it's a visual product that sells in this business. Yeah. Always has been, always will be.
Well, people like to picture themselves in these houses so that, because they're going to be living there for years to come. Steve, thanks so much for joining us again. That's Steve Laevastu from Windermere Real Estate. When we come back, we're going to continue the conversation with real estate and help people understand why now is the right time to buy versus potentially renting. My name is Ben Brashen. You're listening to Brashenomics.